It's not even funny. It's not even funny, Deli. It's Friday night, 7:37 p.m, and I've been stood up. Yeah, fucking stood up. Fuck's sake. So, I've been invited to do, over the years, lots of radio interviews, fucking hundreds of podcasts, and big book fairs and conventions and talks, because I've become popular as a self-published author, and I did it all my way, and so I get invited all over the place to do lots of things, and I've always gone, no, I don't wish to. Thank you very much, but I don't want to. And then I've got a new book coming out, which is that one there, Fictionland, coming out, and I just thought, be proactive and do. It's just fucking not even funny. Let's be proactive and let's do some like podcasts and interviews. And I'm working with some guys and they're jacking me up for interviews, radio interviews, and there's going to be some national coverage. And then this American company, these dudes reached out and he said, "Do you want to be on our podcast?" And I went, my natural instinct is, no, I don't want to. I've never listened to a podcast in my life, but okay. And I thought, no, come on, be proactive, be productive. And I went, yes, okay, I will do my very first podcast. And so I've been thinking about it all week, and we arranged tonight at 7 p.m. on Friday, which is when I'd normally be on the sofa, eating Thai and watching shit, and eating Thai sweet chili crisps. But I exercised early and I had my dinner early, and I even ironed a shirt and I put it on, and I even did this button up, and I never do that button up. See, that button's always there, but then it shows that tattoo, and it shows Bear's dog tag that I wear, which I thought could look a bit funny, so I thought, no, do your button up. So I've done my button up, and I made a cup of tea, and I put my little red lights on in my office, and I got everything set up, and I was all tidy, and I've done my research, and I've even left myself little notes. What not to say. Don't say cunt. Don't say cunt. And not to go rabbiting on and waffling on, and not to be a boring fucking stupid twat. And look, I even twirled my moustache. I twirled my fucking I twirled my moustache. And now I've been fucking stood up. No show. Nothing. No contact. No emails. Nothing. So I emailed once and I went, I am ready, sending a link, and it was just tumbleweed. And then I emailed again and I said, my email's coming through, and now I'm down in like a date that's been stood up, and I'm texting the girl and going, hi, phone, I'm just guessing my texts aren't coming through because, you know, I'm stood here outside the cinema on my own. Fucking and again, no reply. So now it's Friday night, and it's 40 minutes after the time of the podcast should have started, and I'm sat here in my office, in my fucking shirt, with my twirly moustache, and I had a cup of tea, but I was sulking, so I went downstairs and I've got a beer now, so now I'm drinking beer. Happy Friday! Woo! First fucking time I say yes. I was like, fucking podcast. I don't want to fucking be on a podcast. Everyone's doing podcasts. I'm literally the only person left on the planet that hasn't done a podcast, or isn't on a podcast, or doesn't own a podcast, or even listen to a podcast, or subscribe to a podcast. I'm the last man alive that hasn't had one. And the one fucking time I say yes. The one fucking time. You can see I'm swearing. I shouldn't be swearing. This is why I can't do podcasts, because I just go fuck, cunt, willy poo. Be fucked up. Should put Deli. I should put Deli on a podcast. We'll call it the Deli podcast. Yes, we will, baby. Yes. Should we get Mrs. Haywood on it? See if Mrs. Haywood. Hello, dear. I can't do the voice. I have to really practice to do the Mrs. Haywood voice. I have to really think about it. I have to think about Mrs. Doubtfire. That's how. Hello, dear. No. Hello, dear. No, it's too high. See, I can't fucking do it. Once I can do it, then I can do it. But if I think about it, then I can't do it. Hello, dearies. There we go. That's it. Yes, baby. Yes. We've been stood up, haven't we? And you're so pretty. Yes, you are. You're so pretty. And we've been stood up. Oh, I'm getting kisses. Oh, I'm getting kisses. Oh, you didn't stand me up, did you? No. So now what we're going to do on a Friday night? See, Deli's pissy because on a Friday night, I always open a big bag of those Thai sweet chili crisps. And they're downstairs in the kitchen, actually. And she has just got a memory like a thing that has a good memory. An elephant. And she's waiting for a Thai sweet chili crisps. Because she always has a few. She shouldn't. And she likes custard creams as well. So, and now she's sulking because not only have I been stood up, but Deli's also been disrupted with her fucking inability to eat Thai sweet chili crisps on Friday night and sit on the sofa and scratch out hairy bellies and have chunks of crisps all falling down and stuck in my beard, and I sit there with the beer on top of my belly go, watching it Only Murders in the Building, which was really good. Season 1's really good. Season 2 was really good. And I really like Selena Gomez. I think she's a brilliant actor. Season 3 though, it's a bit shit. So what are we going to do now, Deli? What are we going to do? Have they emailed yet? No. I have got a text though. Look. See? My fucking lawyer has just texted to say hello, how are you? So my fucking lawyer can text on a Friday night. Lawyer, that's American. We have solicitors. We have solicitors in this country, not lawyers. Americans have lawyers. Yes. So now we're stuffed. Now we're stuck here, stood up, with nothing to do, all dressed up, with nowhere to go. The problem is I'm full of energy. That's because I've thought about it. Because you get into a mental state, don't you? You get into a mental state of thinking, okay, if they ask this, I say this. What do they want to talk about? And I even did my research and I went back over their previous interviews they'd done. And I thought, okay, so they're quite a thoughtful approach. And they've interviewed some kind of low, middle and high ranking authors, which is a fucking terrible way of saying it. But you know what I mean. That have written low rank and high good selling books. And I was like, okay, because they're quite thoughtful, so this isn't the time for flippancy and stupidity and going bum willy poo. This is a time for serious thought. So I was being serious and thoughtful, and I wrote notes and I did my research and I thought about it. And you get mentally prepared for something, don't you? You think, well, okay, I'm in the zone now. I'm thinking about it all day. What happens if they ask me that? What happens if they ask me that? I can say that. I can talk about that. You know, people always want to talk about the police because I was in the police for 22 years. And they always want to talk about my transition from policing to writing. They always want to talk about what I did in the police and what kind of police officer I was. And I was never a detective. I was just a uniformed police officer. And they always want to talk about that, and then the transition, and how long that took, and how I eventually left the police. Now there's nobody to ask the questions, and there fucking should be someone there to ask the questions, because I didn't want to fucking get the questions out, because I was ready, and I put my red lights on. Maybe Deli should interview me. Are you Deli? Are you going to interview me? What? The only question Deli's going to ask is, where are the fucking crisps? Where are the fucking crisps? Are the crisps in my mouth? They're not. Then you have failed, owner of the dog. I think she can sense it. Dogs are like, aren't they? They're switched on dogs are. She can sense that all is not well. No, she just wants the crisps. She does. So this is the fucking podcast now. Isn't it entertaining? Are you enthralled? Are you entertained? It's like that dude, Russell Crowe. Are you not entertained? Fuck's sake. Fucking you just can't make that shit up, can you? It's just indicative of today's I sound like an old man. It's just indicative of today's society. No one's got any fucking why don't you just text? Just fucking email and say, I can't do it, I'm busy. Something's come up. Yeah, all right, fair enough. I will go and eat crisp and drink beer. And continue to try and watch Only Murders in the Building. But I'm probably going to give up. I think I got to like episode 6 and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And it's I think it was episode 6. Martin Short finds the dude squatting in the theatre. And at that point I was like, and then Steve Martin loses the goldfish in the toilet. I'm like, no, I wasn't getting it. So, we are just going to sit here and podcast. And tell me, are you enjoying this podcast? Deli's not enjoying this podcast. Are you, darling? No. So what should we discuss? What should we talk about? What would you like to ask me? Should I be a podcast interviewer? Hello, Mr. Haywood. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy crisp and eating and beer drinking and lolloping on the sofa evening to talk to us. Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for having me. Oh, thank you for being here. No, thank you for having me. No, thank you for being here. No, honestly, thank you for having me. Thank you for being here. What did you do before writing? Well, actually, funny you should say that. I was a police officer. I see. And how long were you a police officer for? Well, I was a police officer for 22 years. That's very interesting. Did you ever arrest anybody? No. I went through 22 years of policing. I never fucking arrested anybody. Which does fucking happen. You'll get like people that have served like years, and they go for years without arresting people. They get panicky about arresting people because they forget the caution. They do. I've seen it. No, I've seen it. I've seen that happen. I've seen old sweats that get pulled out of the neck up behind desk jobs, and all of a sudden they're shoved in a uniform and back out in front line. Their face just goes white when they have to arrest someone. And they go, oh, you do not have to say some words, but some words that you do say, they're probably bad words, so just shut up. It's really bad. I've got an email. Is it from the podcast people? Let's have a look. Well. Oh, okay. So we've had an email. Sorry for the delay. Are you? Can we book another time? Wow. Don't know. What do you do? What do you do in this situation? What is the SOP for being stood up on a podcast date, Deli? Do we rebook it? Or do we just think, fuck it, we should have stuck to the crisps and the beer on the Friday night? I guess I could just go and jump on and do it. No, they said they want to rebook it. I don't know if I want to rebook it. I think it's the cosmic universe is telling me not to do podcasts because you'll just say cunt. You will. It is a proper fear that it will just start up and I'll just go cunt. Just fucking. The intro music will start. And welcome to another book literature podcast. And here today with us for the very first time that he's ever done a podcast interview is the British self-published author RR Haywood. Cunt. That would fucking happen. Would you mind not swearing, please, Mr. Haywood? Alright, sorry. Do I still remember the caution? Deli, I'm arresting you for standing me up on a podcast. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something which you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. Fuck yeah! Look, I still remember it. I've peaked in life. What should we talk about? Let's talk about Fictionland. So that's that book there. That's coming out in November. Early November. Pardon me. No. I'm talking about Fictionland now. She's still there. Look. I'm going to suck my belly in so I don't look fat. She's saying you have to suck it in. You can't even suck it in. It's too big. So Fictionland's coming out in November. And so where did Fictionland... Right, I was writing Delio. There's Delio. So Delio took 6 months to write, and it's a really heavy book, and it's all about racism and sexual trafficking and genocide and war and all the dark sides of humanity. And it was a really griefy book, and I pitched it to a publisher before COVID. I went, I've got this idea for a story. And they went, yeah, go ahead and write it. I went, bing! So they gave me the green light. And I went away, I went for 6 months, writing it. And it was written in episodes, doing like 5 episodes. And they were meant to come out weekly. That was the idea that I'd pitched to them. And then COVID kicked in, and all the really cool people from the publisher left, and some other slightly not so cool people took over. And so I presented the work, and they went, what the fuck is this? Don't do it in episodes, do it in a novel. I went, oh, okay. So I rewrote it from episodes into a novel, took it back to them, and this was... So what had happened was, during COVID, all the really experienced people in publishing, older people, that know their way around books and how to market and how to do things. Obviously, everyone had to go and work from home, didn't they? Publishing wasn't a protected job. So everyone was sent home to work from home. And a lot of older people thought, well, I quite like this. I can just be freelance, a consultant. I can switch into editing. So a lot of the older, more experienced publishers didn't go back. And obviously that's left a big vacuum, which was instantly filled by a lot of postgraduates that blagged their way into positions that they probably should never fucking had. But they did. So there was a lot of young people. And obviously they got different views and different ways of doing things, which is cool. And there's progression, and that's fine. But I think they didn't read the book, and they didn't realise the content of the book. And I went through these really, like 2 years of these horrifically grueling edits, and it got to the end when the final proofread was done, which is a light dusting. And I think the publishers only read the book at that fucking point, and they realised it's just full of murder and death and war and carnage and dick jokes. And they shit themselves and went, fuck no, you got to take all this stuff out. And I went, oh man, no, I'm already earning less than half of minimum wage for this. You got to pay me more if you want me to work on it again. Which I hated doing that, but I got to earn, I got to make money, I got to pay my bills. And it was just nuts. And they went, no. And then they held the contract up straight away. No phone call, no discussion, no negotiation. Literally waved the contract at me and said, you got to make all reasonable changes. I was like, fuck, okay, what do you want me to take out? Not kidding. They wouldn't tell me what to take out of the book because they were fearful that it would be seen as them being oppressive and censoring and sanitizing. So they said, well, the point is going forward, we want to create a positive environment in which we can all communicate openly and get the best from the book. And I went, okay, what do you want me to take out of the book? Going forward, we think that what we can do is not publish the book. I went, just tell me what you don't want in it. And they just wouldn't answer. They just wouldn't. Let's have a phone call. No, young people don't like phone calls. Let's jump on a Zoom call. No, they don't want that. It's far too confrontational. Someone could get triggered. And eventually I just went through the book and I took some stuff out. I took jokes out. I took scenes out. And I sent it back to them. And something I'd taken out was okay because they were going to put the book out. But then they weren't going to put the book out. And I just had a massive meltdown by that point. I went, fuck you, I'm taking my rights back. And I wrote a blog. I wrote a blog. And I kind of went, this is shit. And I'm struggling with it. And it's really difficult. And I'm dreading doing books 2 and 3. And I think the publishers read that blog it triggered them, and they sent me this email sacking me, which was a massive fucking no. It was really bad, really bad, really bad. And I've still got it, still have it. And do you know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna lawyer up. That was my lawyer that texted me a minute ago to say hello. So I lawyered up, got my rights back, put Deli out. During all that process, I'm like, fucking, my brain was just like, it's coming out my ears. Bear died. Bear's mum, Milka, there. That picture was based on Milka. She died first. Bear died. I had house renovations that had gone horribly wrong. It was a fucking nightmare. Oh my God, I think I aged like 10 years in like a year. And I just wanted to do a light-hearted book. I just wanted something funny. And to tell you what happened is I started off thinking, I'm gonna write something like really spiteful against the publishing industry, and I'm gonna call it kind of like fiction. Fuck you, rah! Editors are cunts, rah! Fucking publishers, rah! And then within like a page, I was like, that's not me. No, don't want to do that. You can be positive, and I just don't want to do that, and I didn't want to dwell on it. So I just wrote Fictionland, and I loved the John Wick movies, and I love all those things, and I just wanted to take this character that was in one of these Jack Bauer, Jack Reacher, Jason Bourne, John Wick, JB, all these kind of male toxic masculinity, fighty, kill everyone. They're always an undercover agent, ex-mercenary, gangster, this, and there's always a convoluted plot. And I just wanted to have this character that was in the middle of this awful story, and his niece needs a life-saving operation that he doesn't even know what the operation is, but he's got to pay for it. So he works for kind of like FedEx or UPS. It's never quite defined, and he's got to make one last drop to get the bonus, so that he can pay for his niece's life-saving operation. But his van gets stolen, so he has to go on the hunt to get his van back. So he kills loads of people, and it's fucking terrible. Like, the storytelling is awful. It's really, really cheesy. And every time he goes around a corner, there's another group of culturally defined gangsters, Chinese, and then there's some black guys, and then there's some Japanese. It's fucking terrible. And then he gets killed, and he wakes up in Fictionland, and he realises that Fictionland is full of main characters from crappy, unfinished novels. Most of them being fan fiction, kind of shit, self-published books. And it's full of Marvel characters, James Bonds, Sherlock Holmes, Harry Potters, everything you can imagine. And he just has to navigate this new world where he's told to not be who you are. Don't be who you are. You can't be this assassin man, because you're not really an assassin, gangster, undercover agent. What do you want to do? Do you want to be a postman? Do you want to be a window cleaner? So the book then becomes about identity and self-identity, and the fact that we're constantly bombarded with self-development, and you can't be who you are, and whoever you are isn't good enough, and you must improve, and you must be better. So he's like, he's okay. So then it turns into this kind of inward view of himself, and then it turns out that he's slap bang in the middle of another plot to kill loads of people, and he's got to find a way off this island, and he teams up with loads of characters, and that's when all the dick jokes starts and all that kind of stuff, and then it just goes on. So yes, it's very light-hearted, very funny. There's nothing too serious about it, and that's coming out in November. And we got a really good narrator. We've got Gethin from Game of Thrones, Gethin Anthony from Game of Thrones. He is narrating it. So I heard his audition. It just blew it out of the water. He did this range of accents. It was just amazing. So he's just finished recording. So that's been done. And I'm going to release the ebook, paperback, and the audio all at the same time. So yes, that's my podcast. Oh, fuck you. Well, Mr. Haywood, thank you for your update on Fictionland. Would you like to talk about anything else? No. Can I go and eat crisps now? So how did you transition from the police into writing? Well, I wrote a book and then I left. And tell me about your writing process. Well, I have a computer and I sit down here and I go tiggy. Oh, God. See, there we go. Don't say yes to podcasts. Don't say yes to interviews. Just say no. Just say no. I almost had the Mrs. Haywood voice there. Hello, dearies. Hello. I can't do it. I really have to think about it. Hello, dearies. Only me. Oh, do you know how I do it? Do you know how I get into the voice? So when I did Mrs. Haywood, there was loads of readers that asked loads of questions, and one of them was, "What's your favourite cheese?" So that's how I can get into the Mrs. Haywood voice. Do you like your cheese, Ray? Do you like your cheese, Ray? Do you like your cheese? Oh, aren't you lovely, Ray? So if I say that, then I can get into the Mrs. Haywood voice. So that's, I can do that, but I can't do it otherwise. But fuck it, there we go. Anyway, so that was the RR Haywood podcast special for Friday the 15th of September, after I was stood up after agreeing to the very first fucking podcast ever, and I'm never doing another one. I think I've got some BBC interviews coming up. I'm not entirely sure, but they're not podcasts, are they? They're radio. But there we go. There's nothing else I really want to talk about. So I'm writing more Undead. I've been writing Undead for months. And did you see that as well? Because I'm right in the middle of plot. I'm in the middle of a really intense. I'm at the last third of this massive Undead story for the next big episode, the next big chunk, and I'm pulling myself out of that and giving myself time to get this podcast. Okay, be on the ball, be switched on, be entertaining, try and be funny. Don't say cunt. Be thorough, be thoughtful, because these people, they interview some big authors, and you can get imposter syndrome. I don't fucking think deeply enough about it and I'm too cocky. Not cocky like arrogant, but I've kind of learned over the last 10, 12 years that you can get in awe of some big authors. You can, and some authors write massive, spectacular, like huge novels. And they're really, really good, and they deserve so. But you've also learned over the years that it's really about marketing and hype and publishers, and it's full of cronies. And 75% of the books that are published, that you walk into Waterstones, 75% of the authors of those books in Waterstones are connected to the publishing world in somehow. Most publishers are owned by the same people that own newspapers, media groups, and so on. So those journalists, those editors, those proofreaders, they're all kind of connected, and the big PR companies work alongside of those, so they're all kind of feeding into each other. It's very London centric. So you'll have a journalist, an editor, you'll have people that work in publishing, and people that work in all forms of different stages of publishing. Most of those want to write books, and if you're working in publishing in any stage, you can land a literary agent like that, because of course the literary agent wants to please you because you work in the publishing world, and it's easier for them then to come to you and say, will you publish my book? And of course that's just chronic cronyism. So 75% of the books in Waterstones are written by people that connect into the publishing world, and it's just what I mean. It's just, and so when I first started out into writing, I'd see big names, and you get imposter syndrome. You think, I'm never going to be like that. God, that's terrible. And then you realise that they write good books, but it's not about writing the good books, unfortunately. It's just about hype and media, and a lot of those books have become very tepid and banal and boring and fucking bland. And honestly, you could fucking, seriously, you're going to start fucking ranting again now. I've lifted the thing up from Deli. There she is. Oh, she's put her head down. She got her dad's in his fucking ranty voice. So if you walk into Tesco's or any big fucking supermarket that sell books, and there's like 10 crime novels, because they only sell crime novels and the love books, not erotic, dirty, the love books, the ones that are all about the Barbara Cartland kind of stuff. Anyway, whatever. You've got 10 crime novels. You could take the names of those authors off, stick them on each other book. No one would fucking know. You could walk into Waterstones and pick up any thriller of any leading author, take their fucking name off, put it on another book. Someone's going to pick it up and go, oh, I love this book. I just love the one they do their plot. It's fucking amazing. This is incredible. It's always the same, and the dialogue's the same, and every chapter's the same length. and every character is the same and they speak the same way, and there's always got to be a snippy detective or forensic pathologist or and this is the thing is about crime novels, because they put fucking chief inspectors, detective superintendents investigating crime. Those fuckers don't ever go out to the police station. Honestly, they don't even know where their hats are. You ask one of them to use a pair of handcuffs, they wouldn't know. They'd handcuff themselves to a radiator. They wouldn't know how to do it. It's so unrealistic. And people read it and they love it. What was my point? So when you start writing and publishing, you get in awe of these people, and some of them are very good. But then as you go through, you kind of realize, there's a lot of fakery, there's a lot of fuckwittery, and there's a lot of bland writing. And actually now I've got more time, more respect for indie authors, self-published authors, Ian Rob Wright, Luke Smitherd, Philip Quentrell, people, that you guys out there that are really putting in the effort to write their own stories in their own unique ways, and they're fighting against those big systems and putting their books out and with their unique voices. And I've got more time for them. I would feel if we were all in a panel with those guys, I'd be going, God, wow, this is amazing. God, I'd feel then. I've been invited to do talks with, I think it was Philip Pullman and Margaret Atwood. I said no. I fucking not. I can't do public speaking. But I didn't. I don't know. I think if I was along, I think my pleasure now would be along a big bunch of indie self-published authors. I'm thinking these guys, they're pushing out at the cutting edge of things and they're trying different things and they're being unique, and it doesn't always work for them. It's fucking hard. It really is hard, especially when you're up against a Goliath publishing system that's so London-centric, that is geared towards cronyism and favours and so forth. There is a book called The Maid, right? This is the perfect example. There's a book called The Maid. I can't remember the name of the author who wrote it. It's a lady, and she used a pseudonym, so she wrote under a different name. But there's no point fucking doing that. So this author, and this book was at number 1 on the Kindle charts, and it had something like 5 trillion reviews. And it was number 1, and everyone's going, oh my God, this is just incredible, it's fantastic, it's amazing, it's the best book in the world ever. And I was like, okay, all right, well, I bought it, and I went into town. I bought it, right, I went into town for a coffee. I bought it, and I went into town for a coffee, and I started reading it, and I was like, what the fuck is this? It was all right. But if I wrote that, or if any self-published author, or any unknown author had wrote that, fucking grammar Nazi, and sent it to an agent, first of all, the agent's going to be like, no. If there was one agent out of a million that went, I'll give it a punt, and they sent it to a publisher, 99.9% of publishers would have gone, no, it's not very good. And even if one publisher had taken it, they would have just kind of slipped it out, and it wouldn't have gotten any hype, any attention at all. But it did. It got massive hype, and it got massive attention, and the only fucking reason it did is because the author is the head of Simon & Schuster in Canada, I think. I'm sure it is. Simon & Schuster are one of the big 5 publishers. So she's a head. I think she might be deputy vice president. Fucking whatever. She's the head of the fucking publishing company. One of the big 5. The fuck? It's just... and she tried to write it under a pseudonym. But I can guarantee you, she would have sent it out to an agent again. I've put my other name on it, but it's from me. And they would have gone, okay, we won't tell anybody. And they would have sent it to another publisher going, don't tell anyone, but it's secretly her. And they would have gone, okay, we won't tell anyone. Fucking their bollocks. And that whole chain, so from the point when she's written that book and put it into the system, every single door just opens for that person all the way through. And now I think they're even talking about turning it into a Netflix thing. That's how fucking bad it is. And there's not enough shit coming out on Netflix, is there? No, let's have more. Oh, dear God. And you see, what, because you're going to go, well, that sounds like sour grapes. It sounds like you're bitter. And kind of go, I'm not bitter because I'm earning good money. And I've got a good platform and a good audience. So I'm comfortable. I'm okay now. So I can choose to self-publish. And I know my books will still make money. Delio's done really well. Delio right now is number 3 in the science fiction charts. It's a fucking self-published book, number 3 in the science fiction charts. So it's not bitterness. It's not that. I'm looking at that thinking, so that publisher who did take that book, right? They've obviously given all their marketing budget to that. So even if I had to come along with another book, and they're going, yeah, we're going to take this book as well, the marketing value of my book that I'd given to them would have been reduced because they're going to put all their marketing hype into this book because of who it's written by. Because everybody wants to keep that person sweet and happy and stay on their side. Because then when they put their new books into this publishing house, she's going to green light them and go, yeah, do that one because they helped me with my book. Was that fucking not cronyism? Imagine if that was in politics. But, I mean, it does happen in politics, doesn't it? But... And I just kind of think, is that not the most entitled thing that you could possibly do in publishing? You're the head of a publisher. You're already earning squadzillions of pounds. You could, if you wanted to write a book and say, I've got that itch, I really want to write a book, which everybody, if anybody wants to write a book, go for it. Go and have a go at it. But don't abuse your position. Don't do that. If you really want to test yourself, write it under a completely fake name and then go through that process and then be exposed to how bloody hard it is. Don't cheat. You can guarantee that book's cheated its way all the way up to the top. Pardon me. And it was all right. It was about an autistic maid that stumbles across some murder in a hotel. And the autism side of it I thought was crass. But there were some reviews saying it's really captured the how what it's like to be autistic. I was like, I don't know. I mean, I've written a lot of autism. I've written about a lot of autism. I was exposed to it in the police a lot. Some of our repeat offenders had autism, Asperger's, and I kind of realised quite early that to get a grip of that, you can really help people. And even police officers, you get a lot of police officers that are on that spectrum because sometimes it kind of suits people, right and wrong, good and bad. And so I was like, okay, that's really interested me. So I took a huge amount of time to develop Dave from The Undead, Bertie in Extracted, Sam in Worldship. He's definitely on the spectrum, and you know, and I can't remember his bloody name now. Alfie and Ollie in Delio. He's on the spectrum there, isn't he? Because he can't read a room. He's socially inept. You know, and I've taken a huge amount of time to draw this out and flush it out, and I just thought it was fucking crass and awful. So that's what I mean about publishers, and I don't know why I started ranting about that. Good God, I've been talking for 37 minutes. See, I could have done all this on the podcast, or I could have sat on a sofa and ate crisps, and Deli would have been a lot happier. Right, there we go. Well, fuck this. Should we go and eat some crisps? Yeah, shall we? We've been good all week. We haven't eaten any junk food. We did share a custard cream earlier, didn't we? Yes, we did. We had a custard cream earlier when we got back from walks. But we're going to go and eat crisps. I'm going to go. Thank you for listening to me moan about being fucking stood up. Being fucking stood up. The first fucking podcast I ever agreed to do gets stood up. Fucking whatever. I'm never doing another one. Bollocks. I'm going to go. Thank you for listening to me rant and moan. Have a lovely weekend. RR Haywood, thank you for your time you've dedicated to us on this Friday evening for this podcast. And good luck for the future with your self-publishing. Fuck that shit. Fiction Land is out in November. Much love.